Part 2, late August 2008. So eventually, these two nurses from the hospital took my almost 1-year-old son out of the back of the very nice SUV that belonged to the abuser. And at that moment, or shortly before that moment, my son's godfather also drove up in even a more luxurious SUV. These two nurses looked at me with this white sheet faces, eyes bulging horror look on their face, and they asked, "Do you trust this man?" I had no idea, no clue why they were behaving this way. He drove up in a very nice, clean vehicle. He was very clean cut. He was an engineer. I couldn't understand why they would react this way. I had also told them more than once during the very short conversation exchange that I was waiting for my son's godfather to come. And so he came, of course. So I said yes, and I was befuddled. So he came, he took my son. I told him my son's things were in the vehicle and to please take them all. And then I believe I asked where I should park the vehicle, because I had to park the vehicle somewhere relatively long term to walk into the hospital. I parked the vehicle and I walked into the hospital. This is late August 2008. I went into the triage room in the hospital. I was examined. It was clear that I was bleeding. I believe the medical staff called my doctor. And they then gave me a shot that caused extreme heart racing. I believe that shot was supposed to stop the labor. Now, what I was not thinking of focusing on or understanding at that time, I have 3 heart conditions, 2 types of arrhythmia and a heart murmur. So when that shot made my heart race, I think it made my heart very irregular in more of a way that it shouldn't be, which was a little scary. I didn't freak out, but it was really making my heart not beat just fast, but beat crazy. So I was gasping a little bit. Eventually, they decided that I could just go home. And again, like women in the 3rd trimester, pregnant women, like usual, women like that urinate a lot. They have to pee a lot. It's just part of being pregnant. So I went to go to the bathroom at the hospital before leaving. And when I did, again, the toilet filled with blood. Now, the medical staff were under the impression that the crisis was solved. Obviously, it wasn't. So I told them and showed them the blood. They then decided I should stay, and they called my doctor again. My doctor advised them to give me a shot to help the baby's lungs mature. And it was then decided, I was told, that they were likely going to do a C-section that night or that morning before sunup. This would have been premature, a premature birth. and I was frightened about that. I didn't want that. So I called what turned out to be the abuser, and I had kept him informed. And he said he was going to get on a plane and come back. As it turned out, however, he did not get on a plane and come right back. And later, he said it was because there was a mass storm or a hurricane. Whether or not that was true, whether or not that impacted the state and the location and the airport where he was, to this day, I don't know. I don't know.